Welcome to the Tom Matt Show. You are walking through the front door of the retirement zone. And now, your host, Tom Matt.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Tom Matt Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Sandy, for bringing us in. The only time you ever hear her voice, as I say occasionally, the only time you hear Sandy's voice on this radio program, podcast, is on those bumpers. So thank you so much for that, hon. And thank you to Mitch Anderson, our producer, who does everything, pulls it all together and makes us sound so good. And of course, there's Vanessa doing all of the other things behind the scenes with the video and all of the social media stuff. Yeah, we got a great little team going on. Last week, had a Spartan Talk conversation with Ed Tillett. He's the director of the Broad College of Business. He's in a department over there for a long time now. He's been to university for quite some time. He basically was born at Michigan State. I mean, his dad was a PhD student when he was born, and they lived on campus. The old, the old student housing. So that was really an interesting one. He's got a great take on things. Ed Tillett is he's a great guy. He's a great Spartan, and we love talking that Spartan stuff. Today, more sports. You guys, you know how we like talking sports around here. A little bit that I do know, a little bit that I try to find, but I love finding people getting that story. Donovan Ivory is our guest today. We're going to call this one Talking Hoops, The Journey. This young man has been all over the place. He's a professional basketball player. Now, Donovan, I was going to ask you, because I have in my notes here that you are currently playing for,
It's pronounced Vulcha.
Vulcha. Okay, so I just want to make sure I had the notes correct here. So Donovan Ivory is with us today, everybody. He is a former basketball player at Kaukauna High School. He's played at the high level of D1, D2. He's worked his way through all of this. And the funny story that we have, that we'll try to blend in here, because I got a lot I want to talk about with NIL and Kaukauna and Donovan's journey. But how we met, just in my random life, this is how it happens all the time, everybody. It's the law of attraction. I don't know what else to say, but it's just the universe brings good people into my life. I met Donovan at the gym in Wisconsin randomly. I just, he looked like a college guy. He still does look like to me, he's a college guy. I mean, Donovan, how old are you now? You just had your birthday. You're 25?
25, yeah. I just turned 25.
25 years old. So to me, he looked like a college guy. I mean, these college guys, they all look, if they're anywhere from the age of 20 to 40, they all look young to me. But I want to welcome to the program. I want to let Donovan talk about his story, more about this, his bio and his family. I want to welcome to the radio program, the podcast, my friend Donovan Ivory. Welcome to the show, Donovan.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, thank you for taking the time. I know it's busy. You're getting ready. Now, as we're recording this end of July 2026, so this will drop probably in about a month, you're getting ready to go back to Europe here pretty soon, and we'll talk about that here. But when is that date? You're going a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll leave early of the second week of August. It's like the 10th or the 11th, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. And Donovan's been really cool to, because I asked him if he would be kind enough to maybe give some tips to my grandson, Bam, on his hooping. And he said, for sure, if he's a Kaukauna kid. And we're going to talk about this here in a second, about Kaukauna and that feeling with that Kaukauna community. It's really amazing. But before we go there, Donovan, please take this time, talk about, I know we want to talk about your dad and your brother, your family, what made you you. So please take this time and go right ahead. I'll give you the signal when we come close to the end of the segment. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've got a pretty large family. I've got 3 brothers and a sister. One of which is a twin. I have a twin brother. And growing up, so I was never alone growing up. I always had my brothers, and if it's not my twin, it's my older brother. And we were always in the gym playing basketball, and that's how kind of we just connected, have a basketball family for the most part. A lot of us play sports or have played basketball. So it was easy for me to kind of get involved in it. My dad played in college in Minnesota. Now he coaches, and he's been coaching. He started coaching when my twin and I got to the age to play youth ball and things like that. And so he's just been able to guide us on and off the court. And my big brother was nationally ranked as a young guy playing basketball. He got a little bit bigger, and everybody kind of grew past him as he got older. But he was ranked when he was younger, so I just always had somebody to look up to, and that's kind of led me to the journey. My older brother set the path, telling me what to do and leading by example and things like that. So it was kind of it was an easy thing to get into and become good at, I guess.
So your dad, according to what you sent over to me, your dad, you're pretty proud of your dad and your brother for influencing you, but your dad started the AAU program. Talk about that and add a little bit of influence, please.
Yeah, my dad has been working in the school districts for a while. You know, he helps, he's helping at-risk kids and just helping them transition and I guess, mentor them through their younger years and into high school as well. And so as he coached me growing up, he made a lot of impact on the kids that were on my team and that he was coaching. And he decided that he wanted to make his own program. So now it's called All Wisconsin. It's a pretty high level program. They play all around the country. And he does more than just coach. He tries to be a role model, a father figure, and just somebody these guys can come to if they need anything. And it's real inspiring for me because that's kind of what I want to do. I know he inspired my older brother as well because he's a coach as well. He coaches varsity football at his alma mater, Appleton West. He's the first Black head coach in FVA history, and he's also the youngest head coach in FVA history. So just being around two older people who have influenced me and I can see the impact they have is something I like. I like when people come to me, oh, I know your older brother, or I know your dad, or your dad has done this for me, or I want to leave a similar impact as well.
I am going to have to get your dad talking about the All Wisconsin thing. I'm definitely going to want to meet your dad, talk to him about maybe coming out of the. I love talking about this kind of stuff. It's just like when I approached you about coaching BAM, it's like you were so down with it. But before we get much farther along, please mention the names of your parents, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sister, because everybody likes to hear their name. And I try to remind people, please say their names so they can hear it on the show.
So my dad's name is Nicholas Ivory. My older brother's name is Dominic Thompson. My twin brother is Braden. My little sister is Elena. My little brother is Lincoln. And my mom is Stephanie. Nice
family. And you're all from and this is the thing, everybody, that in the Fox Valley, as they call it, in Wisconsin, and I've learned all this since I've been going over to the Fox Valley and we have a home over there now. It's very very sports intense in the Fox Valley. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, Donovan. And we have a lot of sports around here. You know, I've been with the university a long time, and it's like what you guys do over there is over the top. Would you say that in your experience, because you've been around quite a bit, I mean, have you noticed that the Kaukauna Fox Valley area is very, very competitive compared to some of the other states and regions?
Yeah, I think I do agree with that. I've been to the East Coast, the West, the South, overseas as well. And I don't think anywhere that I have been has as many facilities at the level that we have over here. You know, whether that's in Appleton, Kimberly, Kaukauna, you know, these schools have indoor facilities for the football teams, new basketball courts, practice gyms. And that's just the material. We're not talking about the community aspect of it, but just the buildings, the equipment, staff, and things like that. I do think this area has a really high level of sports, and they put a lot of attention and detail into their athletics for sure.
We're going to talk a little bit more here throughout this interview, everybody. Let me set this up, Donovan. We're going to come up to break here, so let me reset this thing. My guest today is Donovan Ivory. Donovan is a professional basketball player in Europe. I cannot pronounce the CS Valkai.
Vulture. It's like Vulture, V-U-C-H-A. That's how I tell people. V-U-L-C-H-A. Vulture.
Vulture. Any level that you play in athletics, especially if you're getting paid, but now with college, and we're going to talk about all this, but again, let me reset this thing because Donovan is playing in the professional league in Europe, but we're going to talk about Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and the community, and if you can take anything away from what Donovan's going to encourage us to think about with the community and how the feeder programs always help the high schools. We're going to talk about NIL. We're going to talk about Donovan's journey. He's got a very unique journey in college, from D1 to D2, back to D1. And then, if we have time, we're going to talk about that pro life, the European life with Donovan Ivory. You're listening to The Tom Matt Show.
Thank you again to Brock Fletcher, real estate agent at the selling team with Keller Williams Realty. For more information on services provided by Brock, please call his personal cell phone at 517-303-3262 or by emailing Brock at kwsellingteam.com.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Tom Matt Show. This week's episode, I'm your host, Tom Matt. This segment sponsored by my brother from another mother, Brock Fletcher, Keller Williams Realty, selling team of Keller Williams Realty. They sold Big House Holt for us, thank God. They helped us buy Little House Lansing, where I'm recording this now. Thank goodness. Thanks to Mikey Deadman. Mikey, you're the best. Sent him a text this morning, walking the neighborhood with Sandy, and we were... whenever I see homes in our neighborhood, because we have this sweet little neighborhood in Lansing, I take pictures of the houses for sale and I send them to Mikey because he's a buyer's agent. And we talk about all of that with Brock and Mikey and the staff and the team that come over and talk about what we do and how we try to help promote things. The thing about the selling team, as I've said before, the selling team is a team of professionals. Just like our interview today with my guest, Donovan Ivory, who's a professional basketball player. You got to have roles. If you're going to be successful, you have to have roles, defined roles, and you have to hit your deliverables. Mikey Deadman's a buyer's agent. They have seller's agents like Brock. All of them are awesome, but they don't cannibalize each other's work, so they work together to try to get you the win. Just like we're talking with Donovan today, talking hoops in the journey. So the phone numbers, Keller Williams Realty, the selling team. Office number 517-853-6408. 517-853-6408. Brock's cell phone number, which he actually prefers this, everybody. So don't feel bad or anything about not connecting with Brock on his cell phone, because he actually likes that and he encourages us to do that. 517-303-3262. 517-303-3262. Go online to kwsellingteam.com. kwsellingteam.com is their website. It is very, 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 very nice. I say very like 3 times. I should say it 4. It is that good. It's amazing. Sell your home without hassles like we did. Buy your home without hassles like we did. We've got over 20 episodes of Reality of Real Estate on our website, tommattshow.com. Go there, listen to Brock. And if you got questions on real estate, upsizing, downsizing, whatever sizing, go over there, check them out. Doesn't cost a dime. Everything's free. And send me a note. If you got a question, you got a topic you want me to discuss with Brock, Brock's on the show, I don't even know, 4 or 6 times a year at least. And, just a good guest, good topics. All right, back to today's episode, talking hoops, the journey. Professional basketball player Donovan Ivory, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. I never heard of Kaukauna. Probably a lot of people listening to this episode on the podcast all over the country, all over the world. Kaukauna, Wisconsin. It's like, what? What's Kaukauna? Kaukauna, Wisconsin is something else. Let me tell you. And we bought a house in Kimberly because we're looking for a spot. We wanted to be close to the kids. But I want to let Donovan, who's a graduate of Kaukauna, talk about the community, the athletics, state championships he's run, because you had quite a career over there at Kaukauna. So take the rest of this segment here and talk about why Kaukauna is Kaukauna. I mean, explain to the listeners. It's unique.
Yes, it's kind of hard to find somewhere to start because there's so much you could talk about with Kaukauna. Obviously, I can talk mostly about basketball. In my experience, I open enrolled to Kaukauna. I was actually going to go to Appleton West, but my mom was a teacher at Kaukauna. So I ended up...
Is she still there?
No, she works in finance now. She does other things, but she taught there for a good amount of time. She stopped after my freshman year, I think. So my whole family is big on education. That's something we can talk about later at a different time, but big on education. Both my parents have multiple master's degrees and things like that. So I think I want to pursue the same thing. But that's a different conversation. Kaukauna is just an amazing city. I played basketball there. I played volleyball my freshman year. They have an amazing softball team. Their wrestling team is prolific. It's just there's so many good sports, and because of that, we have a lot of good support from the community. There's fundraisers, fan support. Walking around, there's still people today that they'll see me and remember me from playing there, and that's because Kaukauna is such a close-knit community. Everybody supports everybody, and we all come together to collectively hate Kimberly as well. So that works. I
got to laugh. Excuse me for a second there, but big boy Donovan Ivory's my guest today. Everybody talking hoops, the journey. I never knew until recently. I had bought a Kimberly sweatshirt, and we own a house in Kimberly, and they're right next to each other. Kaukauna and Kimberly are right next door to each other. And so I wore a sweatshirt when I did one of my videos, And my granddaughter's Harpy's pitching coach, she said, I saw your video with that Kimberly sweatshirt. I'm never watching your videos again. And I was like,
you should probably just burn it.
She's like, you better burn that. That's exactly what she said. You better burn that. That the rivalry between these communities is it's fun. It's intense. I had no idea, but it's what makes it so unique in the Fox Valley, doesn't it, Donovan?
Yeah, it does. It does. Kimberly's maybe a 5-minute drive. Their high school is maybe 5 minutes from us. There's no cohesion there.
And there's big time rivalry, but it's the thing I wanted to ask you about, because it's like all of these communities that have solid high school programs have very dedicated parents and feeder programs.
Right.
Talk about that coming up. Now, you said you came from Appleton, but Appleton's the same way. I mean, they have lots of programs over there as well. The whole Fox Valley is like this. Please talk about that.
So most of the high schools have youth programs, and within their youth programs, they're going to have, sometimes the high school guys will come interact with the younger kids to keep them motivated and excited about the sport and about, meeting an older person. We all looked up to high school kids when we were younger. Kaukauna was different for me because coming from Appleton West, my first time going into Kaukauna, they have open gyms throughout the summer. So the high school guys that are already there, and my twin and I were lucky enough we were in 8th grade our first time coming there. So we're playing against the freshmen in the JV, and you can just see how controlled it is in the summer. Like, Kaukauna does not play. It's very structured. I think when I was younger, I don't know if they still do it, but when I was younger, when I got to high school, we have summer league and we're playing 60, 80 games in the summer. And so through that time, we have small practices and walkthroughs and things like that. And we have time to build a chemistry and an understanding of what our coaches expect from us, both on the court and off the court, well before the season even starts. And I think that's a big difference maker in Kaukauna specifically. We have 2 state championships when I was there. So ask Kimberly how many they have in basketball.
That's what I'm saying, everybody. This is what's so cool about this. And again, when Donovan and I met, it was a very random, it's my life, the way it is. I meet my guests. It's like my friends. And so I want to talk to these young people, because if we don't reach out to them, we're missing out on opportunity. The key word I just pulled from that, Donovan, what you just said, is the coaches set expectations. If you don't know what in the heck they're expecting, and I know they're still doing the leagues and stuff in the summer, because I've taken Bam over there and picked him up from the summer league at Kaukauna. So yeah, they're still doing, I don't know if they do all those games, but they're definitely doing the summer programs, because I've been going over the high school and picking him up from his practice. It's big. And so if you want to help your community, my suggestion is, and your athletics and or your students and or whatever, building that sense of community takes effort, takes commitment. It takes giving up some time, everybody. It takes giving up some time. We're going to talk with Donovan some more. We're going to go to break here. I'm resetting this thing totally. Talking Hoops, The Journey. Donovan Ivory, professional basketball player in Europe. I'm not going to try and butcher the Romania name again. I've already done that 3 times. We're going to talk about NIL and the journey to D1, Donovan, and how that happened. The European life, if we can get to it. A lot more to come. Stick around, everybody. Again, Donovan Ivory's here. This is the Tom Matt Show.
Thank you again to Brock Fletcher, real estate agent at the selling team with Keller Williams Realty. For more information on services provided by Brock, please call his personal cell phone at 517-303-3262 or by emailing Brock at kwsellingteam.com. This is the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I love doing this radio show, podcast so much. It's so much fun. We will be starting our 16th season here in another couple of months, which is kind of mind-boggling. But here's the thing. Never give up the hope on anything, because I never knew that we were going to do radio. I never had a clue on any of this stuff. And it just, through opportunities, we just made it happen. And it's all good. I wanted to do a testimonial for Brock. I love doing the testimonials for Brock. This is from Stacy. Brock, the selling team of Keller Williams Realty, sponsoring this segment. This is a referral recommendation from Stacy. I love doing these. I talked to a few realtors, bold type, in the Lansing area before choosing Brock Fletcher and his team to assist in selling my home. He helped us sell our home too. Brock's combination of experience and knowledge, bold type, Brock's combination of experience and knowledge, bold type, of the area. I repeated that on purpose because I wanted to say experience and knowledge with Brock. Of the area, combined with his ability to understand in bold type, my needs and how to successfully price and market my home, made him the obvious choice for me. The obvious choice can be reached this way, 517-303-3262. That's the cell phone number. Text him, leave him a voicemail. He'll get back to you. Call the office number, 517-853-6408. Go to the website. There's all these different. Go to our website and go to contact box there too. But go to kwsellingteam.com. Sweet website. And do like Joan Wright has done. And I want to say hello to Joan. Joan is a patriarch of this segment with Brock. She's a customer and friend of Brock's, and she listens to the show on Michigan State University's WKAR every Sunday, on Sunday afternoons at 5 o'clock on WKAR every Sunday. And that's where Joan Wright listens to us. She lives in Williamston, and we love Joan. So, Joan, someday you and I are going to have a coffee or a tea or something. Promise you, it'll happen. But again, 517-303-3262 is Brock's cell phone number. Please use it. Great guy. Listen to our Reality of Real Estate on the website, TomMattShow.com, and get your questions answered. All right. Talking hoops, the journey. Professional athlete, Donovan Ivory. I've had a couple of professional athletes. Love talking to these guys because to be a professional athlete means that you are so dedicated to your sport that you will just run through a brick wall. And is that true, Donovan? I mean, it's just, you just gotta want it so bad.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Talk about that desire that you have to have if you want to be a success in athletics.
I played with Jordan McCabe, and Jordan McCabe is somebody who taught me what it means to be a Division I basketball player, but that ultimately helped me become a pro athlete. He told me you have to be delusional. You have to be delusional about it. You have to not only be delusional about knowing that you can make it, but also just about the amount of work you put in. So Jordan, I mean, he used to drive from Kaukauna to Appleton to pick me up at 4:30 in the morning so we can go work out before school. And then we work out before school, shower up, go to class. Then we come back after school. We have our team practice, and then we'll get more shots afterwards. In order to make it, like the guys at the professional level, not even professional level, but collegiate level, these are elite athletes. These are elite players, whether it's basketball or any other sport. You can't accidentally make it. That doesn't happen. And people like to say, some people get handouts or he shouldn't be there. If he's there and he's playing, he's supposed to be there. You can't, like I said, you can't fall your way into a Division I scholarship.
There's no faking it.
There's no, even Division III. If you're a collegiate athlete, and people will talk down on different levels, Division I, II, or III. If you're playing collegiate sports at any level, you're an elite athlete. A lot of people can't. People think they can wake up one day and I can go play at UW lacrosse because it's Division III. No, these guys are elite athletes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to get there, you have to know that you're going to compete against some of the best. I'm lucky, I'm blessed. God blessed me with athleticism, and I'm 6'6", but the work ethic, if you, especially if you don't have the size, you don't have the genetics to be 6'6", if you're a 6'1" guard, you're considered small, you have to be better than everybody at everything, and people don't understand that. And that's something, if you have a child or a grandson, a nephew, anybody who wants to be an athlete and they're going to take it serious, they have to be willing to put their sport above. I didn't go to prom, my junior prom. I didn't go to my junior prom or things like that. Like, you have to be willing to put your sport above the things that normal kids, might want to do, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be normal. You don't want to be a normal kid. You don't want to go to school just to go to school. Obviously you want to get an education, but to be an athlete, you have to understand you don't get the same privileges that all the other kids get.
It's just a focus, man. You have to be dialed in. I mean, if you're not dialed in, it's not happening. And I've said this, it's amazing that you say that if you play, I like to think if you're playing at a high level high school, you're a good athlete. But Donovan's correct, everybody. And I've been around college athletes a long time. And it's like, if you're playing any level college and any sport, you're good. You're really good. And so it's like, don't ever diminish that. So let's talk about that journey into the D1 and talk about your steps, because you had a very unusual path. So just like nowadays, everything's so different. Talk about that journey to D1.
Yeah. So I was a late bloomer. Going into my senior year, I was ranked like 36th in the state. Or going into my junior summer, 36th in the state, underranked, and I ended up committing to a Division II, Minnesota Duluth. Coach Wick, very good coach, very good guy. And so my whole senior year, I was committed to Division II, excited to go there, ready to play. But throughout the year, I was having a really good year, and I just felt that I couldn't let myself go without at least trying to get Division I, opportunities. I had some Division I interest after my last AAU summer, but nobody offered. So we ended up playing a big game. My last game, my senior year, we played against Jalen Johnson, and his team was super stacked. They had a bunch of high major Division I commits, and I played really well, and I ended up deciding that I wanted to take a chance at Division I. Decommitted from my D2.
Was that a high school? That was towards the end of your high school career?
So my last game of my high school career, a month later is when I decommitted from the Division II. So this would have been around end of March. It's probably end of March.
What year was that? 2019?
2019, yes, sir.
2019. Just to put everything together. And
yep.
Remind everybody, you were All-State twice or once or honorable mention?
I was All-State once. I got All-State, first team All-State. I want to say it was unanimous first team all conference for sure, but I got All-State and I got runner-up AP State Player of the Year behind Jalen Johnson that year.
Wow. So, congratulations, man. That's big.
Yeah. I was hoping I got it, but I didn't get it. So, you got to chalk that one up. But I had a really good year, and it led me to get some opportunities after decommitting. My first school was UMass Lowell. I graduated early, so I graduated I actually graduated right before the state tournament. And then, so I was in school in May. So I was May 2019. I was in Massachusetts going to school. Wasn't playing much when I got there. I had my uncle had passed away, and that kind of hurt me. And so I took some time back. I left that school and I transferred to Boise State.
Quite a ways, man. How in the heck? Okay, hold on a second here. So you go from one side of the country to the other side of the country, and you're from the middle part of the country.
Trying to get everywhere.
And now you're in Europe. So you've seen some territory, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is basketball the same? I mean, in all of those different places, Don, I'm not a hooper. I'm a coach and a trainer, as you know, but I wish I was a hooper, but I'm not. But is the level of hoop that you come across the country and across the world, is it at that high level all over the place? I mean, these players are that good. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, if you're playing, so I played Division I basketball. It's the highest collegiate level you can play, right? And even then, I was at a mid-major, and there's high majors. Like these guys are very, very good, very good. And every single person on a Division I roster is head and shoulders better than the average person. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't go take the 15th man, play him one-on-one and win.
Okay, hold that thought, because we're going to come back. We're going to finish this thread because this is really good.
Yeah.
And this is where you guys, if your son, daughter, they want to be competitive, listen to what Donovan is telling us, because he's been there. If you think you're good, there's always somebody who's 10 times better. So it's like, stick around, because Talking Hoops the Journey with a guy that's doing the journey, and he's in it right now as a professional basketball player, Donovan Ivory. He's got tips for us. This is the Tom Matt Show.
This segment of the Tom Matt Show is brought to you in part by the Source of Light and Power by band leader Archibald and broadcaster Mitch Anderson. Hear the sound that is endorsed by Odyssey headphones, linear tube audio, RME converters, and Peluso microphones at sourceoflightandpower.bandcamp.com.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of Tom Matt Show. Talking Hoops the Journey. So many people love to hear these stories about athletics, and especially with the college, with the NIL stuff. And we are going to have that conversation here in just a second. Bear with us. Just hang on. Got to do all the hot, good stuff. Not that this beginning of the show hasn't been good. It's been great. But the NIL stuff, we got to get the story from my guest today, Donovan Ivory, professional athlete, professional basketball player in Europe. I don't care if he's playing in Antarctica. If you're playing and you're getting paid at the professional level, not the NIL level, we haven't talked about that yet. You're good. You're really good. Okay. Donovan, let's do the plug here. People want to get a hold of you for speaking engagements, perhaps some coaching down the road or connecting with you. You're just a very personable young man. and you have a lot of demands on your schedule and time, but it's extremely valuable to have a Kaukauna grad who's going to be helping my grandson, who is a Kaukauna kid, get better. And I just found it to be exceedingly exciting. So maybe somebody else can benefit from your expertise. How would you like people to connect with you?
For sure. If you're looking to reach me, my phone number is 601-315-9009.
Say it again, please.
601-315-9009. And my email is DonovanIvory15@iCloud.com. You spell my name DONOVANIVORY15@iCloud.com.
There you go. Reach out to Donovan. He's going to be available when he's in town. He's all of these kinds of things, doing these type of radio programs and podcasts just help to get the word out. Okay, so let's continue this thread with, because we're going to, all you fans out there listening to this stuff right now, the NIL stuff is coming. Everybody's chomping at the bit for that. I want to hear no more. I want to know more about NIL and transfer portal and all that. Okay, it's coming. But first, we got to talk about the journey, because just getting into a Division I program is hard. It's very, very hard. You have to be elite. Let's continue that. You're making that jump from high school to college. You've already kind of made a commitment, but then you're changing your commitment over here. Go ahead, take it from there. You're starting that whole journey.
Yeah.
Let's continue that.
For me, it was just about finding the right opportunity, and I'm thankful for I transferred a few times. So I went to 4 Division I schools in over 5 years.
Is that normal, Don? Is that happening more and more now? Because I know
now it is normal, but when I first transferred, it wasn't. So like when I first transferred, I had to sit out a full calendar year and not play because of the old transfer rules in 2019. Right. But now it's to a point where you can transfer and play right away. So how does that make? Excuse me, but how does that make you feel now that you've gone through that? You're pro. Talk about that feeling. I actually, after my last year of school, I was going to try and get another year to play in college. You know, NIL, you want to stay. Now people want to stay in school, you know, right. But I was going to try and stay in school and get that year back that I had to sit. But I got a really good opportunity to go overseas and play. So I took that. But I don't feel any type of way about it now. I used to be a little upset about it because I'm watching all these guys transfer and get to play when I had to lose a full year of eligibility because of it. I was able to stay in school 5 years because of the COVID. When COVID happened, everybody got that year back because they canceled a lot of games, a lot of seasons and things like that. But back to the Division I thing, I think skill is a huge part of it. But I'll also say there's a lot of very skilled players who can't play collegiately because as much as it is about the skill, it's also about your mentality. And people don't understand it's not just about who's the best player. It's still a business. The NCAA and collegiate basketball is a business. And when you're in a business, you might be the best player, but if you're not the best person, or if you can't get along with coaches, if you're not coachable, if people don't like you, that could really mess up your whole career. I genuinely know some very, very talented players who don't play anymore because they could never get the mental side of it. You know, basketball is more than just putting the ball in a basket. It's grades. And it's also how you interact with people on a day-to-day. Your coach is most important. And also, if I could give advice to young players about coaches, if a coach contacts you, always, and I mean every single time, respond as if it were your favorite school calling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting recruited by Division I schools. So when a D3 schools hit me up, I knew personally I might not go there, but I would never throw away that relationship I could have with a coach because, one, they might be able to help me out in the future, but also all these coaches know each other. Division I coaches know Division III coaches and vice versa. So if you're only being nice to the Division I coaches and you're being rude to the Division III coaches because you're like, I'm not going D3, those same D3 coaches might be the reason you don't go D1. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So the mental part of it and the stuff off the court worked hand in hand with being on the court. And I had to learn that through my time. So. That was great
advice. And you bounced a couple of different schools, as you said. And nowadays that's just normal. And we don't have to go into the whole each school because at each point you learned more and got better, I would assume. But let's weave in now the NIL portion into that journey. Yeah. and talk about that. It's so wide open. It's so crazy. I just got to get your opinion on this.
Yeah, I kind of have a unique perspective because when I first got into school, there was no NIL. You couldn't accept anything from anybody for any reason. Otherwise, you could have potential to lose your eligibility. So I can.
How crazy is that to you now when you think back on that? Because it was
right.
because obviously I remember very well. I mean, if you took a hamburger,
you couldn't get a free meal. You couldn't get a meal.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Now people are getting handed $10,000 to work a 30-minute camp or a 30-minute interview or something like.
Right.
So at the time, my freshman year, there was no NIL. I had a lot of followers on social media. I was on TikTok and stuff. And so I was getting a lot of DMs. Brands were trying to work with me, fly me out and do all these conventions and things like that. But I had to choose whether I literally had to make a choice. Do I want to do social media or do I want to do basketball? Because had I took any of those brand deals or people in my DMs asked me to promote whatever it is, I would have lost all my eligibility and no longer been able to play college basketball. So I decided to step away from the social media part so that I could play basketball. But today, right now, if the roles are, the same, and I had all the social media presence I had, I'll be a millionaire. I would have so much money because these guys are able to capitalize off of the influence they have. Imagine if LeBron James, if LeBron James had NIL going, he might have went to college because he would have been paid $6 million for 1 year, $5 million for one. It's incredible the type of money that's being made right now.
Oh, it's
incredible.
To me, it's a little mind-boggling. I love that the basketball players are getting paid because I hate to see these basketball players jump early and then not get paid as a pro, where it's a little different with football, where those guys, that's a whole nother ball game over there. But with the basketball guys, we want to keep you guys in school so that you can kind of keep that cohesiveness of that program. I mean, You asked me a question when you found out that I'm associated with Michigan State, and you asked about Draymond Green. And I was curious as to why you brought his name up first when we first started talking at the Y that day. What is he? Are you a fan of his?
Yes and no. I think Draymond Green is a really smart man. I think as a basketball player, he's really good. He's really smart, and he's built a Hall of Fame career by playing an ugly role. And I think that's something that's overlooked by a lot of people. People say Draymond sucks. He's bad, because he plays with Curry, but and Klay Thompson. Draymond is one of the smartest players, in my opinion, because he knows how to get in your head. He knows where to be offensively and defensively, and he changed his game to fit a system that brought him to the Hall of Fame. So I asked about Draymond Green because I think I'm a pretty smart guy. I graduated, I have my degree, and I was Dean's List and all that stuff. But so when I see a man like Draymond that's overlooked because he's not Steph Curry, I see the cerebral part of it. So I wanted to ask about that. And I would love to, if I could talk to Draymond one day, just hear how he just looks at life. I would love to do that because I don't know the man personally, but from what I see in his interviews and things, it sounds like he's an incredibly intelligent man. Like, I think he sounds very smart.
Such a good point. I'm going to carry this through, Donovan, because we're going to go to break here.
Yep.
But such a good point to say that mentoring, wanting to learn from the people, and I know for a fact that Draymond Green had to do exactly as you said, but he fell into a good system, and that's what happens a lot of times where, like a Tom Brady, he fell into a good. If Tom Brady doesn't go to New England, he isn't a Hall of Famer. There's no way. But you have to fall into a system. Sometimes you get lucky, and that's just the way it is. All right, let me reset this. Talking Hoops, The Journey. Donovan Ivory, professional basketball player in Europe, all-state basketball player in high school, Division I basketball player at the highest Division I. If you're playing Division I, you are at the highest level. There's no doubt about it. He knows what he's talking about. He said some really good tips, getting along with coaches, all of these things. You can only get it from the player. The player knows. We'll get more from Donovan when we come back. Talking Hoops, The Journey. Donovan Ivory's here. This is The Tom Matt Show.
This segment of The Tom Matt Show is brought to you in part by The Source of Light and Power by band leader Archibald and broadcaster Mitch Anderson. Hear the sound that is endorsed by Odyssey headphones, linear tube audio, RME converters, and Peluso microphones at sourceoflightandpower.bandcamp.com.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I told you, if you stick around and you listen to all 5 segments, because there's only a couple of radio stations that carry all 5 segments on the broadcast side of things. Thank you for doing that, especially WKAR, AM 870, blasting us all the way to the Lakeshore, Lake Michigan. If you're getting that, great. If you're listening to us on the podcast, great. But segment 5 is typically always has great stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about the European life now with this professional hooper, talking hoops, the journey with Donovan Ivory. Been a great show. He's talked about all kinds of good things. We have not talked about girls, but we're going to, because when you get these good looking guys like this, these professional athletes, I mean, enough said. I mean, but we'll get there in a second. All right, Donovan, European life. How does it work? You're getting out of college. You must have an agent or something. How do you make the connections with these other squads across the world? I mean, how does that work? I have no idea. Can you enlighten our listeners, please?
Yeah. So, I mean, first you got to have a pretty decent career. You know, you don't have to have an amazing career. You don't have to average 30. I think my career average is in college is 9 points. My senior year I averaged 13. I shot 40% from 3. We ended up winning a conference championship. That helps. Winning helps. So if you're playing well on a winning team, that'll help. And an agents, for me, how it happened for me, agents will hit me up. You know, they might follow me on Instagram, DM me, get my number from somebody, call me. And when your agent hits you up, they're going to talk to you. You know, they're going to sell themselves to you. You know, I have connections in this market, in this market, in this market. Out of college, I ended up signing with an NBA agent. I wanted to go to the NBA. I ended up getting hurt and it kind of stalled some things, but I think God had a different plan for me, and we ended up getting an amazing opportunity in Romania. So the coaches in Romania called my agent, because overseas they scout a lot as well. Like these teams, they have GMs and they have people who are going to look at collegiate athletes and look at college, and so they know what's going on over here as well. Because a lot of guys come from college overseas.
Let me ask you though, because in the European leagues, because we have college, D1, D2, D3, men and women, but in Europe, they don't have that outlet. So I would assume, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would assume that you, as a professional basketball player in Europe, you're like both. You're a pro and you're kind of like because it's entertainment for them. They don't have college. What I'm trying to say is they don't have college basketball.
It's not entertainment though. Like, the NBA is entertainment. The NBA is all about how we can sell the most tickets. Let's try and get as many points on the board. Don't call carries. Don't call every carry. Don't call every travel, stuff like that, because they want to sell tickets. They want to show. In Europe, it's more about the game of basketball. They're more passionate about, no, we're not here I don't want to see 120 points. I want to see 70 points, and I want to see a hard, good, close game that we win. They're very passionate about it. It's real. I think it's more real basketball. I love the NBA basketball. It's exciting. It's fast paced. It's fun to watch. But when you get to Europe and you see the environment that is there, it's like these fans are passionate about the win. They don't care about 15 dunks happening. They want to see real basketball.
They want to see
we care what we're doing. Right.
Good fundamental basketball. And this is something I wanted to ask you, because I looked through your stats and you seemed, and just from what I could take from your stats, you're a pretty good defensive player. And defense, how do you feel about defense? I mean, because I have my opinion on defense in all sports, but especially basketball. What about defense?
It takes nothing but effort. You don't have to be a skilled basketball player to play defense, like, at all. There's some people who are not good offensive players, but will play for a long time because they know how to guard. And that's the other thing. Defense gets you paid. People say defense wins championships and stuff like that, which is true. If you're an average offensive player, but you play amazing defense, you will get paid. And whether that be in college or as a professional athlete, you will get paid, because defense really does win. Defense wins games. They're going to put you, if you're the best defender, you're going to guard the best player, and you're going to make the biggest impact on the game without even having to shoot if you don't want to, you know? So I think defense is something that's overlooked, and a lot of people don't want to play defense. Nobody wants to play defense because you might get embarrassed. Somebody might break your ankles. Maybe you get dunked on, or a big shot hit on you. You got to take the wins with the losses. But defense is, my dad told me that a long time ago. I used to get on the court not because I could score, it was because I was a defender and I used to rebound. But now, I'm a defensive player. I'm a shooter. I've had two, decent years, and I would like to play a little bit better, but defense definitely keeps me on the court. My rookie year overseas, they don't care who you are. You could come from a high major, but when you're overseas, they don't care because it's a different brand of basketball. Like if you either you can play here or you can't. Everyone's going to get an opportunity, but I had to tell my coach, if you're not going to play me offensively, put me in a game so I can play defense. I will make an impact on defense, and by doing that, I start guarding the best players, and all of a sudden now I'm getting more minutes on the court. So offense is coming to me. The ball is naturally going to find you. Now I'm making more shots, and I end up winning a championship. I won 2 championships my rookie year as a pro, and I'm super grateful for that. Defense being the reason I'm getting more opportunities in these games. I don't know how to make that make sense.
Such a good tip. I mean, there's so many good tips. If you're going to be a college athlete, and especially a college basketball player, even a good high-level high school player, all of these tips are valid. All of the effort, all of it is so important. All right, let's get into the personal side of the European life. I mean, what are the fans like over there? Are the home fans, do they love you? And when you go on the road, are they like brutal? Is it like the IS zone will rake people, they'll rake players, coaches. We don't care. We're taking you out. I mean, is that how it is there?
Yeah, kind of. So obviously, you get to Michigan State and those higher schools, you have 20, 30,000 people there. I'm in EuroLeague. EuroLeague is the highest level in Europe. That's where you'll find that. Where I'm at, you'll get like 3,000 to 5,000 there, but they're chanting, they're banging drums, they're screaming, they're whistling, they're yelling the whole game. And they are very much so, they're going to cheer you on when you win. They're going to, get mad at you when you lose because it means something. For me personally, I have really good experiences with fans. I think I'm a pretty good people person. So I like to talk, and that's kind of what I do it for. I really love inspiring people. I love making people smile. My favorite part about overseas so far, I told you I have 2 championships, so I have a trophy and some medals and things like that. But I have about 4 or 5 drawings. Fans, they drew me, and
oh, cool.
They'd be anywhere from little kids to older people. My favorite thing to do. I really love meeting new people, learning new languages. I know a little bit of Romanian now. I know a little bit of Polish. And just being able to throw a little Romanian word in there when I'm talking to a fan, they get super excited. And shoot, I get excited when I know I said it right. So,
what about the food? How do you work your diet and your food over there nutritionally as a professional athlete? You're on your own, right? So you take care of your own, or do they have a training table, or how's that work?
So depending on where you go, some teams will provide you meals, 2 meals a day, depending on where you're at, maybe 1 meal a day. I got lucky. My team provided meals, but my first year, I was eating all the meals, or I was eating out, finding food to eat. This last season, I cooked a lot. So I was making a lot of salmon and rice, real simple, salmon and rice, chicken and rice, steak and rice, or salmon, rice, mashed potatoes. I'll make pastas. I just like to cook because you can kind of control more of what you're putting in your body. Like overseas, Europe, their food is better for you. Like they're not pumped full of dyes and preservatives and all this garbage that kind of messes your body up. Even like if you go to McDonald's in Europe, you'll taste it. It tastes different. Or Popeyes, it tastes different. It all tastes almost better.
Right.
Honestly. You're not going to see all these. You have a million choices. You go to the gas station here, you have a million choices for candy and chips and things like that. Granted, Europe does have some of them. They don't have 25% of what America has.
It sounded like that, and I wish we could talk more. Maybe when I get you back, we'll talk more a bit about the World Cup people and all the people that were interviewing with all of these little clips that we saw on TikTok and Instagram, where the Europeans were just going nuts about Costco and
the size of food and all that stuff.
All of it, it's just crazy. That's probably why we have such an obesity problem in our country. But
no, seriously, it's the sauces. We overseason, we oversauce, and we overeat in general.
No doubt about it. All right, I need to get a takeaway from you because we got a minute and a half to go before we're going to wrap this thing, and I want to make sure I get a solid takeaway from you. Our guest today has been Donovan Ivory, talking hoops, the journey, professional basketball player in Europe, played at D1 at the highest level. You got to play D1 if you're going to play in Europe. You must have played some high level of college. Please, what's your takeaway today?
real quick, I know we're out of time. There's a lot of Division II and Division III players that play in Europe. A lot of them. I promise you, like a lot of them. And
they're good players.
They're very good players, like very good players. One example is Tyler Sabin. He's from around here somewhere. He played in Romania and Argentina, and Division III player making a lot of money playing professional basketball.
There you go. There you go. Don't give up on your dream. All right, what's your takeaway there, big man?
If there's anything I want people to take is like, as an athlete, focus on your sport, make it the most important thing, but also make sure you're a good person too. Being a good person will grant you opportunities that you may never have had. Your best player might not get the same opportunity you'll get if you're a better person. You know what I'm saying? Just be a good person. And every conversation you have could be a life-changing conversation, so treat it as such.
You never know. That was so solid. Be a good person. You never know where the relationship is going to lead. Take our relationship. I've known Donovan for 3 weeks now, 2-3 weeks on the radio program. You're going to get to know the family. I'm going to get to know his family because you know what? Good people attract good people. And that's what happens. When you treat people well, they will treat you well. Thank you so much for being with me, Donovan. I'm going to close this thing here. If our show fits your business or group's mission, we want to be of service to you through our guests, like a Donovan. Topics, issues, please let me know. Sponsorships are available. You got to make a fit. That's all good. Listen to the podcast. If you missed any portion of the radio broadcast, go to the podcast, TomMattShow.com. Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. That's the key. Thanks again to Donovan Ivory and his family for making him such a great guy, to Sandy, to Brock, and the whole team at the selling team. We'll talk to you next weekend, everybody. Have a great week. Go out and ignite your life. Remember, the Tom Matt Show is a production of Boomers Rock Media. We want to bring your story to life. And once again, I want to say thank you to Mitch Anderson, our producer, and Vanessa. You guys are the best. We are out.
The Tom Matt Show is produced by Mitch Anderson of Black Circle Studios. Original music from the Source of Light and Power by the Arc of All.